The trial of Alex Murdaugh is now in week 4. Today we are hearing in-depth testimony about DNA found on Murdaugh's clothes and inside his car. The witness also testified about DNA found on the bodies of Murdaugh's wife Maggie and his son Paul. This is a live look inside the courtroom. The court just returned from a brief break after hearing testimony about that DNA evidence.
Fox Carolina's Grace Runkle was in court for us today. And Grace, what did the DNA testimony reveal?
Well, this morning's testimony was pretty tedious. That SLED agent and a DNA analyst went step by step through all of the tests and different outcomes she got that she ran on the evidence. So we're going to walk you through that. The SLED agent says that she found evidence of DNA belonging to Maggie and Alec in traces of a blood sample taken from the steering wheel of Alec's car. She also says she found traces of DNA likely belonging to Maggie and Paul at the bottom of Alec's t-shirt he was wearing the night of the murders. Now, there were also traces of an unknown male's DNA found under Maggie's fingernails. This afternoon, the defense took aim at the prosecution's involvement in the testing, bringing up the fact that lead prosecutor Creighton Waters asked the SLED agent to research whether or not certain tests can produce a false positive for the presence of blood. They argue the t-shirt in question doesn't have any human blood on it, but it might have fish blood, they say, because Alec liked to fish in it. Now, the defense also asked the SLED agent if she knew about a bloodstain report by an analyst named Tom Bevel. She said she didn't, but that report probably sounds familiar. You might remember that the defense filed a motion before the trial even started to have that testimony from that expert bard. So it was interesting to see that they were the ones to bring it up for the first time. Of course, we're going to continue to listen. We're expecting to hear more about that later this week. Carrie, Tori.
Grace, how is the jury reacting to this testimony?
Well, I think this morning when we were going through all of the different DNA tests, they were having a little bit of trouble, especially towards the end, because multiple tests are run for each sample of DNA. And one thing that's kind of hard to wrap your head around is that they can never say for sure whether or not this DNA sample did 100% come from this person. So you have to walk through all those possibilities. It's a lot of jargon you hear, a lot of unfamiliar phrases. So it was kind of like sitting in a high school science class. And, you know, especially once we got close to that lunch break, I think a lot of the jurors and the people in the audience, myself included, were having a little bit of trouble keeping up. Live in Walterboro, Grace Runkle, Fox Carolina News.
All right, Grace, thanks.